Chito Vera is going to be fighting Dominick Cruz. Now, if there's ever a fight that has been made in recent memory that says, hey, Chael, your opinion is not wanted over here. But there is nothing about, I've never said those two guys' names together. I talk about Dominick Cruz more than anybody talks about Dominick Cruz. I talk about Chito Vera more than anybody talks about Chito Vera. I talk about 135 pounds more than anybody talks about 135 pounds. I've never suggested those two fight. I've been very steadfast in what I want for Dominick Cruz, which is not what Dominick wants for Dominick. I'm having to come in over the top of Dominick and tell it, here's what's best for you. And I thought I was close to getting my way when it came to Jose Aldo versus Dominick Cruz. Lots of you guys backed me up on that. Some guy with some art skills even made a poster. They took it back to the WEC days, put some fun on it. This was going to be for nostalgia. This was going to be for the uncrowned championship. This was going to be for the final WEC championship. There was a ton of things that made sense there. There were also a lot of fun. Now, before we remiss all the other directions I wanted to go with Chito and Dominick, here we are. But let's get a few things clear. We have to agree on a couple of things as we move forward with this fight. Chito Vera is really damn good, yes? Does anybody here want to disagree with that? Okay, Chito Vera has an amazing resume. Can we all agree on that? I mean, as the one and only guy to beat Sean O'Malley, can we agree on that? And I said that's resume. His resume will support that. I don't want to go back to but there was an injury, and he was limping around. I don't want to do that. He beat him. Resume backs it up. Do we agree? Okay. Chito Vera has beaten world champions. Frank Yeager comes to mind. Not only beat him, he stopped him. Not only beat him and stopped him, he did it in Madison Square Garden in front of Frankie's own fans. Not only did all of that, came from behind to do it. That's a fact. That happened. Does anyone dispute that? Now, this is just off the top of my head. I'm not gonna look up Chito's record. Off the top of my head, I know that he beat the fastest rising star, who is O'Malley, not to mention he's the only one to do it. Off the top of my head, I know that he stopped former world champion Frank Yeager. He might stopped other world champions, but this is off the top of my head. That matters. And if Chito beats Dominick Cruz, who has never lost a fight, unless that fight was being contested for a world championship, it matters. It's got to spring him up. It's got to qualify him for something. Something has to be on a fight like that. But we have to look at Dominick Cruz. If Dominick Cruz, who is supposed to be done, he is supposed to be a stepping stone. He is supposed to be and has been used in a role of we're going to use your name and your accomplishments to shine you up to pass the torch to somebody else. If he steps forward with all of that against him and he wins, that has to mean something. That has to qualify him for something. I need your guys' help. Let's decide what that is, and then let's, as a community, bully our way into making it official. I have about had it with Dominick Cruz going along to get along. I have about had it with Dominick Cruz taking extremely hard fights with huge risk that the first time he stubs his toe and it doesn't go his way, you're going to see how big those risks are. He is going to tumble like you have never seen anyone tumble before. It is expected. It is what everybody is waiting for, is for Dominick to stub his toe, but he hasn't done it yet. So if he doesn't do it now against an extremely hard opponent, who's the only guy to beat Sugar Sean, who's got a stoppage win over a former world champion, it's got to mean something. I do feel that that's our job. I feel like if we don't come in and we don't shine up and we don't put a spotlight on some of these massive risks, what should be a massive contest, that if we don't come in and do that, then we're failing. It's the only thing that we have over here is a voice with an opinion and a whole bunch of voices with a whole bunch of opinions. And every now and then, we've got to serve that in the right direction. We can't just spend all our time giving somebody the business, smack them over the head and tell them everything that they're doing wrong. I don't know why Dominick accepted this fight. I don't know why this fight got offered to him. I get why Chito accepted the fight. I do, because he's on an absolute run. And for some reason, he gets a little asterisk with the Sean O'Malley fight. I don't agree with that. A win's a win. He gets a little asterisk with the Frank Yeager fight. I don't agree with that. A win's a win. But I do understand the phenomenon. If he comes in, talking Chito now, and he gets the rub over Dominick Cruz, who has never lost to anybody unless it was a world championship fight, it's got to mean something, and it has to matter. It has to qualify you to do. That's what I need help with. Fill in the blank. But the same true on the other side. Dominick has been kept around to be a stepping stone. He has been kept around to be a guy with some shine that he can pass to the next guy for a very long time. And nobody's taken that torch and nobody's ran with it. And if Dominick stands his ground and he stands his territory and he continues to prove that he's one of the best, at some point he has to be able to prove. He has to be able to use that card that he's slipping under his sleeve. So this is a big fight. I love the fight. I didn't predict for it. I didn't ask for it. But I won't be sour because I didn't get my way. I might have gotten something better. Jose Aldo versus Dominick Cruz is a ton of fun. Chito Vera versus Dominick Cruz right now, like that is possibly something better than I asked for. What's at stake? And don't let this one ride out and play out and be done, and then we look back and say we should have put something on it. Let's put something on it right now.